I coached in the Big Ten and in Indiana for 10 years, and then I loved it here. But it's been 35 years since I've coached here and been here. It's the first time I've seen them in person play. First time I've seen Indiana play. I spent the afternoon with some of my former players, and it was terrific. I love them. We exchanged many great memories. It reminded me of a saying, Coach, Kurt, when a coach dies, he leaves pieces of them in his always players.
Right.
I saw many pieces of me, and I was so tremendously grateful. I love my players, and I love being with them. It was an emotional situation.
Sure.
But it was great.
We saw a few of your players last night out at dinner, and they love you like a dad. You know, I think you coached in an era where the coaches really got involved with the players and their lives. So it's cool to see you have a chance to see those players come back. And you know, one thing about coming here to Bloomington, all these years you and I've traveled, we bump into a player here or there. Here you are back in your day. Oh man, that's all. There's your quarterbacks right there.
Tim Clifford, 14, most valuable player in the Big Ten.
Look at the jet black. Look at the swag. The strut. Look at the strut.
Nice.
You know what we need? We need more coaches brave enough to wear red pants. There you go. That's what we need.
You know, I was at the facility earlier today, and I ran into a couple of your former players.
Yeah.
And I talked to the AD, Fred Glass, and he said that everyone was so happy to have you back here on campus. I'm talking about you're just a beloved individual here up in Bloomington, so it's great to be a part of this.
And, you know, you took over. I mean, Indiana doesn't have a lot of football history. You actually led them to their first bowl win.
Yes.
I think it's when you were getting carried off the field there in the video, wasn't it?
Lucky win over BYU, but I take
it. You know this better than anybody. They don't ask you how you won. They ask you if you won.
Exactly.
And the answer was yes. We're going to enjoy this throughout the night as Coach Corso is reunited with some of his players. Going to be honored between the first and second quarter of the game, which kicks off in just about 2 hours or so. Fans are starting to file in here to Memorial Stadium. Big sellout crowd expected. All of the Ohio look ahead to this kickoff weekend in college football. And for a decade, the Hoosier scooter roamed the sidelines here in Bloomington tonight. Coach Corso is back. He's got nearly 100 of his former players back here to celebrate the occasion. What a night it's going to be. He'll be honored between the first and the second quarter here in Indiana's game against Ohio State. And he has been welcomed back. They have rolled out the big red carpet. Perhaps it'll be the Hoosiers pulling off the upset tonight. You know how we hear Coach Corso speak passionately every week on College Game Day. What was it like when he was in charge here in Bloomington and was leading these Hoosiers? I bet you'll hear some of that Corso patented passion.
I'm football coach Lee Corso, and 1982 will be remembered as a year with some record-breaking performances. Who will ever forget quarterback Dave Loffenberg, who in just 2 years set 9 Indiana records, and a running game led by sophomore Orlando Brown, ending with that amazing win over Purdue for the Bucket.
I'm with Coach.
Coach is not
over. Take the over.
Coach is not. I agree with that. Take the over. How about that? Take the picture, right? Indiana had the lead on Ohio State. Snapped a little photograph.
Man, and then some. It was the first time Indiana's ever been ahead of what it is. I called timeout. I said, down the end zone, we want a picture. We quit. The guy says, you want another picture? I said, no. 47-7 don't look too good.
And Coach Corso back here in Bloomington, going to be honored between the first and second quarter tonight. Take a little stroll down memory lane with a Hoosier scooter when you come back to game day.
Coach Corso, grew up, watching you on TV, of course. Hopefully get the chance to meet you.
Grew up watching him. He is silly, and we welcome him back all open arms. Can't wait to see him.
I think of Indiana football, and from the grassroots for me was Coach Corso. It's really thrilling to have him to come back, and to have him back for this particular game, it was really special.
Welcome back to Bloomington.
Indiana pulled that one out. They can win that game tonight. Maybe somebody's going to go into the Indiana Athletics Hall of Fame. Just like our good friend Lee Corso is. Of course, Coach took Indiana to its first bowl victory by beating BYU. He's also going to be honored here later on tonight between the first and second quarter. Nearly 100 of Lee's players will return tonight to be part of this. All of them paid their own way. All of them bought their own tickets. We ran into several of your former players last night. I think one of the most meaningful things that anybody said, one of them came up to me and said, we watch game day every week, and most people across the country watch it to see the entertainment that is Coach Corso, or to see him put on the headgear. He said, we all watch it to hear our coach. And that's what he was. Coach Tom Rinaldi on the return of the Hoosier scooter to Bloomington.
The year was 1973. Secretariat won the Triple Crown. Billie Jean King beat Bobby Riggs in the Battle of the Sexes. Watergate hearings gripped the nation. And a new football coach was arriving at Indiana.
You're a lot better than they think you are. And you've got a good chance to do something. We come to win. No question about it. Okay, let's go.
For 10 seasons in Bloomington, there were 48 wins, 68 losses, and 2 ties. But more, there were moments. Like 1979, when they stunned 9th-ranked and undefeated BYU in the Holiday Bowl. Or when Corso's team had Bo Schembechler beat at the Big House till Michigan won on an illegal fumble. Corso left after the 1982 season, but the mark he left will never be forgotten. Now, 35 years later, he returns with laughter that still echoes and a smile that never fades. Welcome back to campus, Coach. We hope you'll pose for a picture.
To the picture that Indiana took when they took the lead on Ohio State.
Yeah, but you know, I've been involved with football as a player, as a coach, and now on television for 64 years. 64 years. And I was looking for a moment that I remembered would jump out at me. And let me tell you, it happened here at Indiana. It was a game. It was Indiana against Kentucky at Kentucky. The score was 30-30. We had the ball on the 30-yard line and 4th down. 20 seconds to go in the gun. We call a split end, post corner. He ran a perfect route. Bing, boom, he turned the defensive back around and Clifford threw the ball and he caught the ball for a touchdown. A winning touchdown. 36 Indiana, 30 Kentucky. You know who was that split end? My son, Steve.
And you know who's right here behind you, Coach? All of these players who want to share this night with you, all of these guys. Come on in here, guys. Dio and some of the guys working in the Indiana administration.
It doesn't get better than that, boy. My son Steve caught the winning touchdown pass. And by the way, happy birthday, Steve. It's his birthday today, but that was one play that stood out of all 64 years.
Wow.
That's
cool.
One moment gives me chills right now. I can't even talk about it.
Yeah, I can't imagine the emotions for you coming back here, thinking about memories like that and looking over here. Look at these guys.
Yeah, it was great. Remember I told you, when a coach dies, he leaves pieces of them in his players. And there's pieces of me right there. All those guys. I thank you, guys.
Your coach left a deep mark on the lives and the careers of all of these gentlemen who wanted desperately to be a part of. There's going to be about 100 players here. And look, Indiana would have helped them out, but these guys were like, nope, take it upon themselves, do whatever it takes to make sure they're here in Bloomington for opening night for this huge game, and most importantly, to be with you.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
How cool was that?
Very cool.
You know, every now and then football gets a bad rap, and then you see some stuff like that, and you see these runs that are made.
The one play that my son Steve made it.
Yeah.
And that, whatever.
That's amazing.
As long as I live.
Yeah. I know Steve's watching.
Yep.
That's cool, buddy.
You got 2 sons. You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, that's family you're talking about. These guys are family. Sometimes old headgear's business.
Oh, yeah. We'll see where you are.
Well, from Bloomington on this Thursday night, Indiana leading Ohio State 7-3. Second quarter, one of the all-time Hoosier greats was here for College Game Day before the game, and guess who joins us in the booth? Coach Corso, welcome back to Bloomington.
Man.
How's it feel to be back?
Emotional, I can't tell you. I told Kirk there, as a football coach, when you die, you leave pieces of you within the players. And to see those 100 players come back and do what they did for me and getting that honor, I can't tell you how much it meant to me, the players.
And you had a nice afternoon lunch and visit with those 90 or 100 guys that came back to see you.
There are a lot of your former Hoosiers who are here tonight. This is the first time Game Day has been here in Bloomington ever, and this was just a few moments ago. Down on the field, this is what you were talking about, Coach, with all your former players gathered. They gave you an award, and then what happened? They lifted you up.
Yeah, and the Bill Orrick Award is very special because it goes to the person who did the most for Indiana that's not a graduate. And guys like Doc Conselman, Bobby Knight, and all those guys have won it before I did.
You know, it was the best thing, I think, of all time. You guys took a team photo down there.
Yeah.
And when you took the team photo, you know what I thought was ironic? The score of the game is Indiana 7, Ohio State 3. Just like your story.
But it's different now.
Oh, it is.
When we did that, Indiana had never, 25 years, been ahead of Woody Hayes.
Yeah.
They wouldn't ahead of him. You know, I got ahead and I called a timeout, took all the team down, took a team picture, and Woody threw his hat at me. And after the game, the guy says, Coach, you want another picture? I said, no, 47-7 don't look too good.
Oh, you timed it perfect. By the way, there was a flag on the Buckeyes, and here come your Hoosiers.
But let me tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, they have scouted Ohio State, and their corners can't cover 6'5" receivers.
No.
And that's all they're doing. They're playing catch with those guys out there, and that's all it is.
Yeah, that and the fact that a lot of these are new faces. Ohio State's lost so many players to the NFL in that secondary.
And if they don't get the, I tell you one thing, they're not getting them because he's throwing the ball so quick off his hand. And Ohio State looks like offensively they're one-dimensional. Throw and throw. I tell you, they got to establish a running game, or that kid is going to beat them.
Yeah, they have not found that rhythm yet that everybody had hoped or talked about in Columbus. Still kind of trying to search for it. But Lego looks great tonight, getting the ball out quick.
Well, as long as he does that, you watch him, because if you put the pressure on him and make him move, he'll throw the ball to your team. Mm-hmm. And that's what they got hold of.
What do you think where he was playing really well, and they went to the freshman, Peyton Ramsey, more of a runner, and you know, as well as he was throwing, they ended up maybe losing a little bit of the rhythm.
Absolutely. He got to stick with that kid. I tell you what, they're going to win only if he throws the ball. There's no question about it. Now, and I like the fact that he's throwing the ball to the wideout. See that? He's throwing the ball one-on-one with the wideouts. In case Ohio State doesn't go to zone defense pretty soon, they're going to get beat.
Yeah, the strength of the Indiana offense is Lego throwing it, and he's got a great group of wide receivers.
Absolutely.
And Ohio State's strength's that defensive line, so they're getting it out quick, and they're winning the one-on-one battles on the outside.
And no matter how many guys they send, they can't get to him because he's so quick. Boom.
Yep.
Well, I think they're trying to decide. That was a good tackle by Ohio State to stop Indiana just short of a first down. I think the Hoosiers want to know how short they are so they can decide whether they're going for it.
Oh, you mean go for it? What the hell? You're 20-point underdogs. You got a full house here, and go for it. I don't care where they are, the 30, 40-yard line.
New head coach, just go for it.
Go for it, buddy. Go for it.
I think he's with you.
He better be with me. Now, you know what? Everybody's saying, all the crowd say, yeah, go for it. If he makes it, they'll say, what a dumb coach that is.
Oh, yeah.
He should have punted.
And here's where you don't know whether they can move the ball on the ground. On 4th and 1, it's a pass, and it's a first down. Why not?
Well, why not? And I tell you what, why not? It's against the cornerbacks again.
It's a nice screen. It's actual pick here by Simi Cobbs. Number one, he takes the corner and runs into the nickelback who is covering the slot receiver.
Oh, be darned.
Well, they're going for it tonight, aren't they? There's Cobbs, incomplete.
And last time I saw a play like that was Clemson.
Oh, yeah.
When he threw the ball against Alabama for a touchdown.
That's right.
It was similar. That play got a lot of attention all offseason. These wideouts in this passing game giving Urban Meyer some problems.
They will continue. There's no chance of them unless they've got to put Ohio State's got to find a way to put pressure on them.
Now there is a penalty flag down.
Ohio State may have had 12 defenders on the field.
That's one way of stopping them.
Yeah, they know.
Run somebody else out there.
Substitution. 12 men in formation on the defense.
You know,
that's a 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
What happens when you're breaking in 3 new secondary players against a tempo that's going about every 13 seconds? There's first game of the year. There's going to be some miscommunication with some new guys, and that time Kendall Sheffield tried to rush off the field, but too late.
Exactly.
Well, Indiana still has not committed a penalty in this game. Ohio State's had a couple on this drive. And the Hoosiers are inside the 15-yard line, already leading 7-3. Coach Corso is with us, just honored a few moments ago. Incomplete.
Now, that's a great play by the defensive corner on a crossing route. Well, now watch. Fake the cross, go up to the corner, throw a touchdown against the guy.
They could. Denzel Ward is the one guy with a lot of experience from last year. The other 3 defenders, of course, we talked all game, that are playing in the NFL. They lost 3 first-rounders.
A 3rd and 5. Little pump fake, and that one tipped and intercepted. Off the tip ball. Down the sideline, out of bounds at the 40-yard line. That's Jordan Fuller, the safety. And Ohio State fans can take a deep breath for the moment.
But the tip, I think, is an important thing to realize, because if Kendall Sheffield doesn't get a hand on that football, I think that ball goes by him and it's a touchdown. So as much as we want to talk about Fuller, 8 in white gets his hand right there, and that's what allowed Fuller to step in front of that, or that is a touchdown pass right there for Indiana.
But they were playing zone defense that time. You notice 8 played short and then reacted to the ball. That's the only way Ohio State's going to stop them, is to mix up their coverage on the cornerbacks.
Well, that's the first turnover of this season opener for the Hoosiers and the Buckeyes. Lego, who had 17 of them last year. And Coach Corso, you talked about that, how last year he had a tendency to throw the ball to the other team. That one may not have been on him. That was just a great play. Now Barrett trying to go downfield. Into coverage, flag thrown, and it's almost intercepted. But there was a lot of contact. We'll see. That may be going against the defense.
A lot of big push that time by Indiana. It looked like Andre Brown completely in the way of the Ohio State receiver, affected him trying
defense
to get downfield.
Number 14, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Benjamin Victor, who they think can get downfield. Watch 14. Prevents him from being able to stay on his route, just locks him up, and officials right on top of that. First time we've seen Ohio State, even though they didn't hit it, they get the interference, throwing the ball downfield.
At least taking a chance. They got to do that. Now that first penalty on the Hoosiers puts the Buckeyes into Indiana territory. And off on first down. There's the quickness and the moves of the freshman. J.K. Dobbins gets to the outside, to the 15 and inside the 10. Wow. Well, that may be the play that announces his arrival.
There's the jump cut and the quickness right there. I mean, that's vision. Look at that. For a true freshman, it's one thing to be in all of his quickness and acceleration, but the vision and the cut, the lateral movement by Dobbins.
And a nice play by a Texan, right?
Yeah. Native
he
of
told
LaGrange.
me he was from Texas.
Yep.
He is. LaGrange, Texas, the true freshman. Starting tonight with Mike Weber out.
There's that jump cut right there.
Boy.
They love that kid.
First time we've seen him get out. And just like that, I mean, Indiana's driving potentially to go up 14-3, maybe 10-3 worst case. Interception, pass interference, big run. Now the Buckeyes are down to the 10-yard line.
That run was 35 yards from the freshman Dobbins. Second and goal for Ohio State. J.T. Barrett over the top and incomplete. There was some contact. T-Gray scales in coverage against the tight end, but no flag.
I'm with you on that. There's a lot of contact there. Scales is a great player, but he's learned a few tricks in his day. Grabbed on to the tight end. Looked like he grabbed onto his jersey, Lee. See if he does.
right here at the top.
Yeah,
So
he did.
yeah,
But the
grabbed
one
the
thing that bothers me, Ohio State's got first and on the near goal line, and they're throwing and throwing and throwing and throwing. Woody Hayes is rolled over in his grave right now.
It was first and goal, 2 straight pass plays. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Yeah. Throw, throw, throw.
JT Barrett, he's going to tuck and try to run for it. Barrett to the corner, shoved out of bounds. Just swarmed, he couldn't get there.
His big tackle, or actually his left guard, Michael Jordan, was trying to, 73, was trying to find somebody to block, and JT Barrett ended up trying to get to the outside. Jordan didn't pick up anybody, but nonetheless, JT Barrett able to pick up positive yards, and looks like Urban Meyer bringing in the field goal unit.
And there is a psychological play. 2 plays have done difference. They forced him to kick a field goal to start the game, and now they forced him a field goal another time when they get the goal line offense. They've got to develop a running plays inside the goal line area, or they're not going to be the number 2 team in the nation.
That's a good point you make. The field goal is up and good.
Yeah, look at Tom Allen. Tom Allen's fired up. Sure. That is a win for Indiana.
There's a famous score, 7-6.
Congratulations,
Call
Coach.
timeout. Coach could not get a picture of that.
Call timeout.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football, brought to you by Jiffy Lube, proudly pouring Pennzoil Synthetics, and Mitsubishi Motors, a century of innovation.
You think our friend has had a great day back in Bloomington, Indiana?
Without a doubt. Yeah, you know who's had a better day? His players. His players, when I've traveled with him and he bumps into one of them, they're both crying, and that's just for one of them when he sees them, let alone having 100 of them together. I mean, his players mean everything to him.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys could be here for this Thursday night sort of kickoff game to get our first full weekend started with College Game Day, and part of that so Coach Corso can be here.
Absolutely.
Game Day never been here before until tonight.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun on the show, and it's obviously we got a great game tonight.
We do. 1-point game, 2nd quarter. Indiana's going to get the ball back here.